Does sometimes we look at a loss and it's a standalone loss, but are there things there? And you're playing in an easy division or an easier division, and I don't know if there's no sense of urgency here. But is this an aberration, or do you think there's something a little more to this?
Yeah, I think until proven otherwise, it's an aberration. But they still have to prove that this is a standalone bad performance and ugly loss. It's up to them to demonstrate that. We reserve the right to reevaluate and change our opinion. Right now, I still think I went into the game thinking the Cowboys are one of the best teams in the NFC. I still think they're one of the best teams in the league. But if they go do this weekend against the Falcons in a game that's going to mean an awful lot to their defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, who got fired there last year as a head coach, then I might have a different opinion as to what this team's capable of. But right now, I still think they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
When did you realize it was not going to be Dallas's day?
Well, I thought it was an odd decision. We've seen Mike McCarthy follow the analytics and be very averse to field goals. And he didn't take one on either of their first two possessions, which the Broncos interpreted it as they took offense to it. They thought it was arrogance on the part of the Cowboys. And, Teddy Bridgewater and all the other players that you spoke to after the game made the same point that motivated us. We were pretty upset by that. And they did score 10 points immediately after the Cowboys failed on fourth down, 4 different times in the game, the most in 20 years that they took that chance. Sometimes they were forced into it. But I just think it was a bad day and there were a lot of weird things that happened in the game to their detriment. I mean, they start the game with a 54-yard kickoff return by Tony Pollard. So they're on the Broncos side of the field to start the game, and they don't score with it. And then they get an interception by Jordan Lewis that's negated by a Trayvon Diggs penalty. And then they have the block kick to start the second half, and the Broncos end of the field, and they don't get the ball in a situation that almost never happens. I mean, the rookie Nashawn Wright is kind of the modern day Leon Lett for touching a ball that could have been the Cowboys if they just let it alone. And you can't really expect a rookie to know that and make that decision when the ball bounces up in his face. He doesn't know where he is relative to the line of scrimmage. I totally get that. But that was just a confluence of odd things that happened, and they didn't benefit from any of them. And so you kind of got the sense it was that kind of day. I would say relative to the bite you played to open the press conference, Dak Prescott, he said something similar in that, hey, sometimes you come off a win like we had in Minnesota with your backup quarterback. You think you could just roll out there and get it done. And so I think that tells you everything about the level of overconfidence that they had. And it seemed to me they cared a lot more about playing well in the last 5 minutes when they were trying to avoid the shutout than they did when they were in the previous 55 minutes when they might have been trying to win the game.